10 common signs of shadow people and how to get rid of them. Do you feel like you're being watched? The topic of shadow people is a difficult one and not easy for everyone to discuss. We're already into the realm of the supernatural here, as there is no evidence for these phenomena. However, there are enough people who have seen one or more of these dark shadows in human form at some point in their lives. These encounters are uncanny and make our hair stand on end. We find it difficult to talk about them because we don't want to be labeled as crazy. And yet, they are there. They lurk in corners, can walk through walls, always remain in our blind spots, and are gone as quickly as they came. Today, we would like to give you a few clues about the shadow people. After all, everything seems a lot less threatening when you know about it. The 10 clearest signs of encountering a shadow person. 1. They're usually male, but can be either gender. 2. Black is their color of choice. 3. Headgear such as hats and long coats characterize them. 4. They notice when we notice them. 5. Their movements are faster than our eyes. 6. They are not mere images, but three-dimensional figures. 7. Experience shows that contact will not be made. 8. They seem to be able to pass through walls and furniture. 9. Their appearance can be gigantic or similar to that of a goblin. They are rarely of average human stature. 10. They never show us their face. The 3 types of shadow people. In conversations with people, it often turns out that shadow people can appear in 3 different ways. We distinguish here, as far as is known. A. Creepy visitors. These shadowy vests move silently and almost unrecognized from one place to the next. They never seem to make contact with the people there, but pursue their own plans. What these plans are and how they implement them will probably remain an eternal mystery. The visitors adapt quite well to their respective surroundings. You have to be very observant to spot them in the crowd. As masters of camouflage, they always use the hustle and bustle, but of course, also the twilight and evening hours for their forays. Sometimes we are not sure whether we've really seen a figure or just an eerie shadow that seems to have a life of its own. B. The come-to-stay type. Sometimes shadow people live among us. They do not change their territory, but stay put and integrate themselves into their surroundings. We can imagine them like a house ghost who takes a liking to their human roommates. This bond even goes so far that people have already reported taking their shadow person with them to their new home when moving house, of course, very involuntarily. However, there's never any interaction or conversation with the humans. Shadow beings only seem to want to observe us. They never intervene in situations or consciously make themselves known. It takes a keen eye and very sensitive perception to spot them. As far as this behavior is concerned, we know similar stories about leprechauns, as they are part of Irish and North mythology, for example. They also prefer to lurk in dark corners and behind doors. Crossings, gates, underpasses, bridges, and any kind of passageway are their favorite places to be. In some cultures, such as Russia or Japan, it is therefore considered a guarantee of impending misfortune to shake hands with guests or visitors in the doorway. In this way, the spirit or shadow beings are invited in at the same time. C. Spirits from another dimension. The spirits among the shadow people have very little that is human to offer. They probably have one foot in the afterlife and only the other here in our world. This version is certainly the most unpleasant of all 3. The ghostly shadow people show a strong attachment to a certain place, which it seems they also want to reclaim for themselves. But that's not all. This type of shadowy figure likes to form groups that claim a certain place or house for themselves. As with real ghosts, it can also be assumed in this case that there was once a strong emotional connection to this place. Getting rid of such a gang of shadow people is certainly difficult, but not impossible. The best remedies against such uninvited house guests are A. Prayers. As we all know, they always help against any kind of adversity or threat. In fact, it has never happened that shadow people have attacked or actually threatened their living counterparts in any way. Nevertheless, a queasy feeling remains, and nobody likes guests in their home whom they have not invited. Try, even if you find it difficult, to include love as a cornerstone of your prayers. Think of these beings as stranded, shipwrecked, or fugitives with nowhere else to go. Ask for the wisdom to be able to get rid of them in a good, peaceful way, and for the serenity you will need until then. B. Spiritual cleansing. Healers and herbalists have been practicing incense burning for centuries. In addition to evil spirits, the restless souls of the deceased, and the dark forces of winter at the end of the year, we can, of course, also get to grips with shadow people with spiritual cleansing. A bundle of dried sage is usually the remedy of choice here. Go through all the rooms with it and make sure that the windows and doors are open. After all, you want to make it as easy as possible for your unloved roommates to find a new, smoke-free home. C. Counteract with positive energy. The enemy of darkness is light. Invite a few happy people to your home and throw the party of your life. Music, dancing, fun, and good food are the quickest suppliers of positive vibrations and vibes, which even spirit beings cannot escape. If necessary, turn your home into a colorful villa and let only positive energies flow. Such an ambiance full of peace, love, and harmony quickly loses its appeal if you feed on cold darkness and pain. D. Bright lighting. Shadow beings can only exist in the shadows. That is their nature. If you consciously provide bright light in your house or apartment for a while, these busy creatures will soon lose their desire to stay in your home. Are shadow people real? Each person must answer this question for themselves. Even the most rational minds among us are confronted at some point in their lives with encounters that cannot be explained by logic. Some theories say that shadow people are magically attracted to loneliness and negative feelings. Still, others are more comfortable with the idea of being possessed by old houses. Basically, they are like ghosts. It's our perception that gives them space and recognition. They have exactly as much power in our lives as we allow them. Those who struggle with them may, in fact, be struggling with themselves.